Day everyone, back with some more FGR. Figure we'll, just as we planned, we'll go through, see if we just can't finish New Ireland off. Just in time for the new event to start tomorrow. Now if I recall, wherever else, there should be a rematch against Karna. Indeed it is. Are you joking?
いかがでしょうか。どうぞ。よしよし。どうぞ。よしよし。ステータス。頑張ります。行きましょう。
Let's see what Lon Ling can do, damage wise.
好奇心は猫を殺す。遅い。細かすぎ。遅い。
Okay.
承知。以前承知。
Should have access to her NP after this. Shame no crits. But we're used to that for now, aren't we? I do want to know. Listen to. Oh, it's actually a good move. We had more stars than I thought. Now the next fight can be a bit tricky for you. A bit scary if you don't have any good AoE. Because Karna's back, but he's not alone. There will be two casters, specifically Helena and Edison. So, health-wise, Karna has the highest. He's at, I believe, around 120k. And then the other two are closer to 100k flat. So one thing you can do is find your nice AoE ride and blow up the two casters quickly, or focus on Karna. Let's just see how we do. Okay, it's 150k, not 120. My mistake. You do have to watch the casters because they all have a fair amount of turns before they get their MP. However, they can quick charge their MP, so don't let that big 5 bar lure you into a false sense of security.
どう？よしよし。行きます。いかがでしょうか。
As for who to focus first, it's a bit of a tough one. Helena can buff the others.
シールドエフェクト発揮します。
Karna just does a lot of damage. Edson's sort of this there. From what I remember at least. Has been a while. They're all AoE, so unfortunately that's definitely something you have to watch out for.
受けます。
David's quite useful in that regard, since he can protect from a single AoE and B. Of course, unfortunately, there's going to be potentially 3 of them coming at you. Also, Karna will absolutely wreck David as soon as he gets through the evade. So it's unlikely to get his second one off, even if you were somehow able to get him to rank 10. After that, they're your mates. For now. Just go right back to Berserkers, since these are sketchy super mixed nodes. There's no real way we're getting through all of these buggers in one turn, is there? Because unfortunately, Ash got cards. Well, there's no one saying it this go around, probably. So, we'll just only these are moved over here. I could actually do that. Problem solved. Although, I don't know if a non-critting middle buster will blow up the next golem. But we did ensure Raikos. Maybe. So, works out alright. So you'll notice this background's the same old west town. Just at night. I think we'll do this. Why are there suddenly pirates here? Not sure I noticed that first time through. It's a bit silly, isn't it? But, I'm no expert on westerns, but I don't recall pirates being involved. Should have been BQB. Oh well. Okay, I think I have an idea. There's no need doing this. Should be able to Should be able to finish this in one turn.
ドイツ語の辞書を準備するわ。
Probably.
炎は獣に、竜は我が手に。くさびを破壊し、命の鎖を引きちぎる。ベルカーボルト、フォイアドラーヘン。どうかしら。よーし。セット。さあ、ひれ伏しなさい。いいわ。はい、狙いは決まった。飛ぶわよ。また。ゲートオープン。光栄に思いなさい。これが私の全力先生。そこ動かない。息がいいのね。とっておき。敗者は身ぐるみ剥がされる。捧げ物
Looking forward to when she gets her MP buff here. Next buff? Maybe? Something like that. Spar against Skaha. It'd be a really good opportunity to have Musashi because she can pierce invuln. Unfortunately, we do not have access. If Kuru was leveled better than he is, could be an interesting little teacher versus student matchup. Well, if I didn't have to keep Heracles in because of Bond. Oh well. Maybe next time. If only they would add story replay to the game. Would be lovely.
速攻で肩をつけます。行きます。いかがでしょうか。行きます。ステータス頑張ります。
We're not going to do much damage this turn regardless, so might as well go for MP game. Well, she didn't evade, so I think we're in good shape. Just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to do this. And this. The MP should kill, but just in case, I'm curious how much she would gain off of the art script.
我が主いかがでしたか。さあ勝ち時をあげよう。
You really rack up on Lancer monuments in this singularity. Okay, things are heating up now. Yet again, I'm inclined to whip out the Berserkers. What is it good for? May have a fan fiction version of Ku. That's another slightly controversial. Partially controversial. That's another controversial thing about this. There's no sense sugarcoating it. There's a not small amount of people that didn't like what they did with the Ku altar, because he's just a dreamt up version of Ku conjured up by the Grail due to Maeve making a wish. Sort of like how Jolter came about, honestly, for being an angry version of Jean from Gilles. But at least she did develop a character after the fact. It may not be one that's popular with certain people, but she did develop a character. Whereas he's kind of nothing. And people that are particularly fond of Ku are really disappointed because this very much likely means they'll never add the real version of Cuchulainn's Berserker form into the game. So instead they're stuck with this fake Ku. Ku in name only, as it were. The crit swing on. Okay, they made up for it a bit there at the end. You know, the background is MP kind of fits with the area we're fighting in. Wonder if they died of dysentery. Okay, shoot him. Wait a minute. A better see for her now. Either we go. Okay, okay. Easy laugh. That Wyvern could have had a family. crits. My old friend. So let's see that I have a bit of fun.
いいよ。シロ、お願い。よいしょっと。私の中の女神たち、力を貸して、おふたけして、おきません。ギャー。
Is that for Lou?
見るも役も同じやさ。何に赤フルは潮田さん頑張ります。蹴散らしなさい。シロ。死にはったらよろしおす。戦士断行新天気だ。あれ、もう起き上がってこないんだ。そうなんだ。つまんないの。
Seeing those rider gems reminds me of poor Ushi and how she's stuck that second ascension when we need to get her to 4th so we can get a 3rd skill and make her a proper servant, as well as get a fair skill strengthening. Oh, that's not in their lead. Let's notice. I don't want to use hair. Just for kicks and giggles. Let's go back to Ling. Honestly, he could have this as well. It would actually help him get his MP quicker. No reason not to. So we're on section 18 of, I think, 22. I think this one had 22.
Crazy Matt Bushido. とりあえずそんな感じよ。
Our cooldowns are fairly low, so we'll go ahead and use them.
我が天秤に集い、きらめき。星の輝き、今ここに。修羅になるわ。羅刹と化すわ。
Not sure if I've explained this before, but different enemy types, so classes rather, to be more specific, give different amounts of refund from your attacks, basically. Berserkers, for example, are among, if not the lowest on refunds, where something like a caster gives a lot of refunds. They may actually be the highest. I'm actually not certain if that is tracked anywhere though, where you could look that up to get a comprehensive list, unfortunately. If I remember, I'll try to search around, but it's something to keep in mind. That means certain classes, even if they have AoE or single target, arts, noble phantasms and the like, can have an easier or more difficult time looping against certain enemies, even if they have an advantage over those enemies. So foreigners, for example, like Hokusai, doesn't actually get all that much refund when she's going against Berserkers, because Berserkers give you laughable refunds. Now, if she's got enough MP gain up, of course, she'll do just fine. But it takes some... It's not as lenient. It takes more buffs and possibly a bit of luck on high rolling to get quicker overkill bonus, because that's where all your gain comes from. Whereas if a unit just has absurdly high hit count and MP gain from their attacks like Ryder Mordred, she can even loop against Berserkers really easily. She can loop against anyone. If she's pumped up enough, she can loop against Assassins, even though they take half damage from her. So, that's fun. Yeah, that was fun. The 10% crit. Absolute legend. Can't believe they gave Soraya an NP bar. She's already absolutely insane. Hey, we already know she's super tanky due to being a ruler, and she does an insane amount of damage. She does approximately all of the damage. But how about we make it to where she does all of the damage? Every bit of it. Give that guy a raise. You know, I think it's about time we test out the old one turn. We need to bust the gods. I mean, it was okay damage, I suppose. But yeah, really looking forward to when their MP buff drops in NA.
うん、容赦しないけどごめんね。よしよし、白は偉いね。よしよし。
Just like, let's make him do more damage. Oh, let's also make a PSN bomb. Because why not? I see you. See you over here.
よろしゅ。やっちゃうね。慌てない慌てない。
My SI will take a 1 crit. Coming right up. About 2. Or 3 really. Use hers, but it's quicker just to do shoot-ins, and she kills all 3 of them. Huh. How about that? I thought we had some Red Rider gens. It's actually a bit surprising. If I'm remembering correctly, we start getting into some sort of boss fights around this point, starting with boss monsters, but then actual servants, a lot of them. And how to buff one was to be banned. So Sion, you couldn't do 200 more damage, love. Come on. What do we pay you for? Just a bit. Just a bit. Got her in here. Now was the Berserker just those two golems, or is the boss monster of this fight, providing this is even the point where we start getting those fights that I was vaguely remembering. Berserker is probably a chimera, or it could be a dragon, it could be a rider. Gosh, she craves. Ah, chimera it is. Let's lower that defense. I think we'll let Seed and I have a crack at just taking it down. Nice. More dragon fangs. There we have a decent number of those now. Issue is, both Heracles and Seed and I need them to level their skills. And both of them need their skills leveled. I could probably stand to level hers first, just because Heracles really comes into play once he gets his Bond Seed, which is still going to take quite a while. This has got to be a dragon. Which means if we get her MP quickly enough, she can blow up the second wave. We'll see how it goes. Okay, there are only two ways. Bugger. Well, we got an attack, huh? Suppose that's alright. And the dragon it is. Oh, I was about to say, wait a minute. Spread that MP strength buff out, so we get 2 multiplicative buffs instead of just 1. I imagine shooting. Yes, she has much higher attack. Even with so Pretty sure I went over this before, but it bears repeating. Each class has a damage modifier inherent to them, which is something you can look up easily on the fandom wiki. Just go to whatever class you want to look up and you see their damage modifier. For example, Lancers and I'm pretty sure Avengers both have 1.1 times damage modifier, which means they do 10% more damage than their attack stat would suggest. Which is one reason why Lancers are so bloody good. They just do more damage than everyone but like Berserkers. Berserker has a higher one. But again, Berserkers also take double damage from everything. Glass cannon and all that. Now, contrast that with Assassins who actually have a negative multiplier, so to speak. Because they're 0.9, so they actually do 10% less damage than what their attack stat would suggest. Which is just the big ol' sad. Okay, things are getting fun now. I say dryly. Abigail, if you have access to her, is going to be your friend for this singularity. We actually want his MP quickly, potentially. Wait a minute. Never mind. That has sure is. What? We're just going with it. We're just going with it. So now things hit the fan, so to speak. And from here on out, it's very nearly just boss fight after boss fight, all the way up until the end. And get used to seeing this bloke, because you fight him a lot. A lot. Remember that gauntlet where we kept fighting Heracles last singularity, or no, 2 singularities ago in Okeanos? Well, this bugger, if anything, we get even more cracks at. We're just going full MP gain here. So the reason, besides her doing double damage to him, the reason why Abigail in particular is very good is because, now fanfiction coup he may be, but he still gets protection from arrows. Now his is weaker than this one, thankfully. Instead of 3 evades, he only gets 2. He still gets the defense increase though. And he also gets guts. So basically, he can get really annoying to damage. Meanwhile, he's a 5-star Berserker, and he's doing approximately all of the damage to you in return. However, Abigail removes both his evade and his guts before she does damage, meaning, well, she just laughs at him. Estrella would also absolutely wreck him, especially after her MP upgrade, where she ignores Invuln anyway. Now he may have guts, of course, but it's not like he revives with all that much HP. So it's pretty easy to take care of it all in one turn. And now we have Arjuna. Also, obviously, if you have access to Sure Hit, that really helps against any fight that spams evade, like Kuka lane fights do.
武装完了。行きます、先輩。
赤いトゲは茨のごとし。
ステータス頑張ります。はい、的確に行こう。よーし、どうかな。
さら狙わずとも。
Also, as usual, just like if you were going against assassins, you need to be careful when going against archers because they have a very short MP charge. I suppose,
行きます。
おう
分かったよ。
as usual, go MP game. Enkidu is going to get him as soon as he uses, as soon as we're able to use MP. One good thing is Arjuna has fairly high hit counts, so he charges your MP quite quickly
熱くなってきたね。
when attacking you.
それも
任せな。
いいね。そうだ、的確に行こう。呼び起こ
Another reason Lancers is so good is just because,
人と共に歩む。ゆえに
honestly, I feel like the vast majority of Lancers, I think it's pretty safe to say the vast majority of Lancers
うん
have really good kits,
やっぱりこんな
and they do like the 10% more damage. It's definitely one of those classes where you can get into the thing where, my goodness, I like so many of these. How do I figure out who I want to use, or who I want to roll for, or the like? It's a definite issue. Okay, we're moving along now. Ah, it is yet again time for an apple. However, I'm not going to waste a gold one again. We learned our lesson yesterday about that. Well, this is quite the conundrum. What does this fight have more of? Sabers or riders? Guess we'll see. Well, so far, so good.
よしよし、シロは偉いね。
I
おいで。みんなよろしくね。シールドエフェクト発揮します。
It is a bit awkward. See, we want to lead off with Ishtar. So we get 2 Ishtar cards. But Seedonai's going to tickle this one. Oh well. Not a lot we can do about it. Sometimes it's just how it works out. Now we can get a bit silly with it. Well, we'll at least get a use out of her MP. What am I saying? I obviously knew that's how this fight was structured. We planned this. It was calculated. Her MP game with Painting Summer is very lovely. But even better if we actually get to leveling her skills. The issue is she takes both Caster Mats and Berserker Mats. And I don't think I need to go over again just how many bloody casters we need to raise. It's an actual nightmare. Lottery events are going to be a godsend, provided we can actually get a decent number of boxes. Of course, that will depend on the structure of whatever free quest is best for farming the currency that you purchase said boxes with. We got two lotteries remaining for this year. The one that's coming up after this next event, and then one after Saber Wars for Christmas, sometime in November. And both of them have some really handy upgrade materials available in said boxes. Is this another rematch of Ku, or I've used Professor's Hokusai class. She's going to be starting at 0% charge. Which wouldn't be an issue on my main, of course, because I have plenty of ways to charge her. But on this one, not so much. Oh well. Next year we'll take it waiver if he hasn't spooked us by then. And be good as gold. I'm thinking this. I vaguely remember a fight against Shadow Servants. Okay. I didn't know. There's this Spartacus and Blood Axe.
シュシュおいでみんなおいでみんなよろしくね。シールドエフェクト発揮します。ステータス頑張ります。
Hate wasting their evade like that.
さあトーンしたり
But it is an evil that is necessary for us, unfortunately.
本そじりしたぞ。本私リエンチリベース9月36件
See, Harkusai's MP animation is the same,
この変地決め
no matter which ascension she's in. Oh, bugger. That's approximately all of the damage.
ひょんなものでやっちゃうね。トーンときたよ。チョコザイ
Shame Arby's isn't the same. I may be misremembering though, maybe her
さこしろ
the final ascension MP animation isn't all that different than the one she uses in the other ones. Well, it's nice to get more Berserker pieces, but they need to be gold, they need to be monuments. They see that I. Alright. We're in the thick of it now. Chapter 21 out of 23, presumably. Oh, 22 rather. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Incidentally, I keep skipping the cutscene, so I haven't had a good opportunity to point this out. But, oh, this is quite the conundrum. Who do we focus on taking? He's more dangerous because he actually does damage.
羅刹とガスは
The most Leo can do to us is really taunt, honestly.
ステータス
So Leonidas and Luru, if you couldn't tell from the shadows.
どこだでは死ね
Oh, bugger. Oh, jeez.
背中を押せ
それね
受け負ったどこだどこだ
羅刹とガスは
Okay, Chimera. I think Jolta can handle this.
羅刹とガスは
Probably.
シールドエフェクト発揮します刻むそれね行くわ
Wait, if this is a Chimera,
三つ首の
This is wave 2. It's in wave 3. Some sort of... Oh, is it a dragon? Because it was a rider. Because there's seeing a rider was the entire reason I brought grabs. Okay, okay. Calculated 2 electric boogaloo. Oh, I bet it's bust for a chain now. We're getting rather dangerously close to another leveler. So we're going to be wasting more AP, it seems, after this. Because we shouldn't have too many more fights left. Probably. Okay. Now, I am fairly confident this is a Spriggan because I vividly remember being introduced to Spriggans about this point. So, at the end of this singularity. So I'm going out on a limb and saying that's what this saber is. Just as a reminder, Spriggans are really bad too. Okay, I was right. Good, good. Thought so. Spriggan are really bad at hyper buffing their crits and then just doing insane damage to your team one by one. Very mean buggers. They don't normally have this kind of health, I don't know. This one's a bit of a spatial one. Now, I say normally, but they can, so there's something to keep an eye out for. And it begins. Good news is, sometimes they can just get into a loop where they just continuously buff themselves and then never actually attack. So they just end up dying. Like this one's about to. Oh, I can't not let Kuro get a nice crit in. Oh, he dropped his rare drop. That's lovely. So these are spirit roots. Spirit roots. They're another gold upgrade mat that only come from Spriggan. And luckily, as typical, they're not needed by that awful many servants. At the very least, not in super large amounts. Like, I think the highest amount that needs them is like Maryland, and he needs like 30 something of them. Hold on, I will look it up. Or So Abigail needs 45, and then another foreigner, Van Gogh, who's not out yet, the end of next year for her. She needs 55. Those are the highest, but there are a handful of that need 30 or so, and most need single digits. So yeah, it's not too bad of an item, and it seems to pop up in events quite often. This should be Ku and Mev in the same fight. Unless that's next chapter. No, there it is.
戦闘です。マスター、指示を。シールドエフェクト発揮します。
その通りだ。
修羅になるわ。
Incidentally, when it comes to evades and stuff, they actually work just fine on this Ku. Unlike normal Ku, who has sure hit on his NP, this Ku doesn't get that. He just juices up his attack and defense for a turn when he uses it.
見えた。では決着としよう。見えた。我は覇王にあらず。ただ歴史を開くための時の。
Also, this bloke right here, little horsey boy, he's non-limited. He's one that I would have sworn up and down is story locked, but he's not. Something that throws me off quite a bit.
羅刹と化すわ。
Mashu, do you have to slurp up all the crit stuff? This is actually trolling by the game developers, by the way. It's got to be. Giving her such an apparently high star weight. It's like, come on, mate, what are you doing? Why though? Okay. Mev's definitely going to die. We just wanted to die to the NP. Actually,
それね。刻む。それね。
should be comfortable enough, because he's only got 28k.
炎は獣に、竜は我が手に。くさびを破壊し、命の鎖を引きちぎる。ペルターモルト、フォイアンドローヘン。
Okay, she would have gotten it either way. Now get out of here.
リアクタと化せ。修羅になるわ。
やりすぎ。いいな。これは必要な処置だった。
And there's our level up. There we go. And we're halfway to getting Cedar 9. Final Ascension. Really glad I used that Spatial Ascension on Heracles. Although, in looking back, it would have been better to do it on Cedar 9. probably, and just level Heracles the old-fashioned way. Well, actually, I don't know, because Heracles' mats are a bit of a bugaboo because they cross over with like Cuchulainn a lot. Yeah, that's bad news. So I hope you like Cuchulainn, because now I think we fight him like 3 times in a row, or 4. Which, you know what that means. Wow, Abigail, jeez. Also, he gets progressively stronger each time we fight him,
すぐに終わらせましょう。
from what I remember. So, like, his health is just gonna keep going up. So, that's fine.
悪くない。罪人はどなた？いけない子だわ。羅刹と化すわ。ステータス頑張ります。了解で。はい、叩くわ。
I honestly believe Marsh hates me on this account. She's really got it out for me. And the stun goes off. Just the insult to injury.
シールドエフェクト発揮します。
That's just hilarious.
我が手に白金の鍵あり。虚無より現れ、その指先で触れたもん。我が父なる神よ。クリフォーナイト羅刹と化すわ。見事な采配です、先輩。
Hopefully he keeps dropping those Berserker nerds. I think he does, but I wouldn't swear to it. It also might be luck based, which is also unfortunate. So he's a bit stout in there. However,
悪くない。いけない子だわ。修羅になるわ。羅刹と化すわ。
I'm very tempted to just bust a Brave Jane, ace Keister, but Abby needs a charge. Because we can just provide 30, and then she's getting 10% return, so c'est la vie. Oh, that game though. If you needed more example of bloody attacked. So this does not have. I think it's a coin flip for like 3 turns before it finally procs, if it'll proc or not. It's just very amusing that it's all of a sudden doing so. I'm curious if the 254k I think she did last MP was a lower roll or a high roll or in between. That seemed pretty stat, but okay, good. That was a lower roll, clearly. Well, no, it could have been an average one. Oh dear. Okay, here's the... Since there are 2 fights left, this is the last round with Kuru as Kuru. And then if you recall how the other singularities started ending recently, I think you can imagine what comes next. The grand finale. I swear they did this just to show off his bloody ascension. Yeah, look, he's edgy boy. That makes you want to drop the money on him, doesn't it? It probably worked too. What? Huh. Unfortunately. Oh, she'll get her MP next turn, sure. In fact, we can follow it up with Jolters. So he's definitely going down. Yeah. That's all she wrote for this spiky boy. Such edge, much wow. That was definitely a low roll. A low roll. Just 3 more. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's probably a train. Either way, relief. Okay, so reminder that these demon pillars are resistant to knight classes, but weak to cavalry classes. So kind of makes me want to yet again show off precious little Ushi. So let me What is this strange random ordering? This list sometimes does. Please. If she was a snake, she would have bit me. Okay, what seed do you want to give her? It is a shame that there isn't a good quick C out yet. Thankfully, we're finally getting a really good starting in the quick C that's all attack in Christmas, the Christmas event, the Christmas lottery event that's in November. What do you think the radio starts playing Christmas songs early? And FGR can't start doing Christmas events early as well. Tis. The issue with the current Quick MP one summer is it's not even mixed stats, it's full at HP. It's dreadful damage wise. So I guess we'll slap imaginary elements on there. Okay, let's as you see, I finally broke down and maxed his skills. It's actually tempting to Grayler, but I'll do that on this account instead. Since I'm already tied up Grails wise, I already have a rough idea in mind of people I want to Grail on my main. I believe they gave her another buff, and it makes her second skill so strong. It's really lovely. I'll go ahead and swap Ku to the very back, because unfortunately he'll be doing very little damage to this thing. In the odd event that we got far enough, or it went awry bad enough that we got in. Okay. I think we should be okay. I am tempted to switch to one of these. We'll give we'll give this a shot. There is a chance that it goes poorly, because this is actually not one of those sort of mindless fights from what I remember. Specifically because the bugger can quick charge his MP. And I'm pretty sure this is the one that's bad to really pump up his crits. So he's practically like a blasted Spriggan. Luckily for Ushi, she won't be taking any damage this turn. Lovely at 133k. Be even better if I actually had a team that could support her. Ah yes, that's what he does. He lowers defense. Oh, I forgot to do that. Oops. Oh well. We definitely want Ushi's MP as quickly as possible. If we can get him wasting actions on clearing his debuffs, that's nothing but a good thing. Now, suppose we could use this on Jolter. Hopefully he doesn't quick charge into his MP here. That would be a sad blunder. Oh, he really wants to lower our defense. And he crit. Oh, isn't that pretty? Well, we basically have to hope for Ushi to survive at least. That he quick charges into his MP. We're going all out to try to get her MP back. Well, he didn't quick charge. He didn't even bloody attack. Oh well. So this wave's going. This team is the front line's going bye-bye, but we got the fight. He's quite the wary one, yes. And thankfully he drops a bunch of Void dust. Or should. Well, stack of 5. Because you can never have enough of that stuff. And with that, we've cleared out New Isle, America. We've cleared out America. And now the game actually begins. The real game. Because next is Camelot. And, well, business picks up quite a bit. There's a lovely grail. Unfortunately, this gift is quite the letdown because it's Geronimo.
ダヴィンチちゃんの素敵取り返しはつかまだ見てい
Who
るか
will probably use as a mana prism, honestly. Or we could just
そろそろ
well, first off, we have some summons to do. Hopefully we get something nice. We got a 5-star Ember. That will help in leveling Lunlin.
ようこそダヴィンチちゃんの
That's
今
not what I
日
meant
か
to
ら
do.
の
Oops. Incidentally, JP's done an update where the menu is a bit different in that there's something added over here that looks like a big globe. So everything's been pushed over to the right a bit. So it can really muck with your muscle memory if you're not careful. And I haven't the foggiest what the globe is, actually. I'm not sure what it does. Okay, so we need 8 summons. We don't have 8 summons, but I suppose that's where free quests come in. Although we'd have to do quite a bit of them to get to the bonus. Okay, here's a servant. It is a Lancer. Come on, Ku. Wrong Irish Lancer. Now, I don't care for him, but again, if you like Diarmid, he's not as good as Ku. Like, just flat out, he's not. However, he is a perfectly serviceable answer for you if you like him more. So, do what you will with that. Looks like a Crocus, more of that. Okay, another servant. Casters. Well, another ONI. I couldn't buy a bloody ONI on my main for the longest. Another servant. Oh. We just can't get away from Ireland, it seems. Cannot escape. Or a gold assassin. Hey! That's what we were hoping for. Another copy of her. I'm actually pretty happy about that. I really have a soft spot for Ushi, I'll be completely honest. For one, she's a complete puppy dog, she's absolutely precious. But she was also my very first servant, period. On my main, my very first starter role. She was the absolute first role was Ushi. So I really have a soft spot for her. I'm really glad that she was already really strong, but then they keep buffing her and making her even better. So, and then they gave her an animation update. She looks great, and then she gave her a really lovely alternate outfit as well that I'm really looking forward to. It's really pretty. So I'm quite tickled pink about that. So, getting a second copy of her was our entire goal. However, I just can't not get the bonus summon, so I will continue to work on some free quests. Or, I forgot to do the preview for the next chapter, or the next story. Now, Camelot, like, I'm really not joking here, things really pick up here. It becomes quite serious from the beginning. So yeah, welcome to Camelot by way of Egypt and the Middle East. And even from the first fight, you will be quite taken aback by the strength of the enemies. Even the trash mobs have quite large health pools. And the boss fights start having entertaining gimmicks to them, as opposed to just a straight boss fight against with whatever the servant's skills happen to be. They really start getting creative finally. But we have free quests to do. A lot of them, unfortunately, because we have one Saint Quartz, right? Yeah. So we need 5 more. So we have to do 5 free quests. Actually, I still need to level you too, love. I almost keep forgetting we have Tomokat. I was saving these foes for Asuko, but since she wants to be so bloody stubborn about popping up, you send it now. And we'll go ahead and give her these lads. Just to move her up the list and get her started. Shame that was health enough. Okay. Oh right, we have this as well. Okay, well we'll do both of them. Where's Ku? That's not what I wanted to do. This is. Sure. I actually thought I had already done Robin's interlude, honestly. Oops. Certainly a dangerous fight, isn't it? I'm going to believe in you, Marsh. I'm going to believe that you can actually kill one of these little thinky things with your buster. Barely. Mercy. Eggplant, why? It is. I do find it a bit odd their choices with some of these early interludes and strengthenings in life. Where, oh, hey Nidocris. Speaking of, we have her as well. Oh dear.
今の全力
Those are some embers. I guess those were just, here's some embers to help you along leveling. Of course, unfortunately it's bronze and silvers, which aren't worth the QP cost to use them, honestly. Ha. Here's the craft essence I was talking about. One summer. See, it's full HP. It gives you 10% quick card out and 10% NP strength, as well as start at 50% charge. Alright, but what I was explaining before, what I was attempting to explain before I got distracted, is these interludes and strengthens and such. I feel like the later ones are more designed with the idea of, oh, you would actually use the servant, that is the interludes or strengthening quest is focused on. So they're sort of designed around that servant a bit, to where, oh, you could use that servant in here and have them show out. As opposed to these early ones where it's like, oh, everything kind of counters them. Or it's sort of generic in general. That may be my imagination though, but I feel like there was a shift at some point where they started doing that more. We shall see though, perhaps.
になるわ。いざ行くわ。お任せを叩くわ。はっ。せい。はっ。羅刹と化すわ。
This wasn't the most riveting interlude, I'm afraid. Of course, the main part of these interludes is just the little story beats where you get to interact with the servant directly and learn more about them. 4 more and we get 10 Saint Quartz. So that's one thing to keep in mind when it comes to strengthens and interludes, because you get Saint Quartz rewards from them, or above, and they count towards that master quest. Where the rewards are 10 Saint Quartz. So even if it's a servant, so say you get spooked by a servant that you have no interest in, but they have quite a few interludes and strengthens or whatever. If your account's sort of well off and it's not going to really break you on materials, it is a good idea to, before you burn them, go ahead and squeeze out all those interludes, strengthens or whatever before doing so. So, of course, there's nothing that says you have to, but it can be a useful thing to do. Or we could take the opportunity to. Now, here's a lass that really loves Tomacat. Oh, not 10. They're waiting on some laws. Let's see. See, this is what we like to see. Oh, they actually level their skills. It's really sad to see people that like they'll have these brilliant servants. Oh look, I have like MP for Mordred, and then she's at 111, level 100. But why though? Please level their skills. They're important. And depending on the servant, they actually make it. They're just more important than the MP even, honestly. Oh, they have a Bond CE. It's nice to see. They like Tama Shark, but they only got one copy of it, so that's unfortunate for them. However, again, she will get rated up on New Year's, I'm pretty sure. So they'll have another shot at her there. I think it's New Year's. This New Year's. So next year. Phrasing. I'm not sure I have access to a Tamamar on this account, so I'm going to grab this Tomacat. Well, that was stupid of me. Of course I have access to a Tamamar. I have a Tamamar on my main. Bloody hell. Whatever. I'm doing this anyway. I got out of bed earlier, but I don't think I actually woke up. If you'll notice, I was yawning something fierce. Like the first 40 minutes of this stream. Just can't quite wake up. So yeah, Tomacat she's got an upgraded MP, it's AoE, so it does lovely damage, and gives her a not small amount of HP regen per turn for 3 turns. However, it will stun her for 2 turns, counting this turn. So basically what that means is she'll be stunned for the rest of the turn after she uses her MP, and then the next turn. Okay, so if we let off and used their MP, so we MP tried to BB with her, well, her Buster cards wouldn't go off because she would stun herself at the end of her MP. And then next turn she would be stunned and then she'd be good. That's what that means. If it was just a 1 turn, then it would stop her for this turn. So MP BB, but they don't go off. And then next turn she would be fine. However, that's where this beautiful upgrade, where she immunes her own stun, basically, as well as giving herself a 3-turn defense up and max HP up. Those are all really lovely effects and make her a lot tankier, even as a berserker. And of course, she immunes her own stun. And she gets her HP regen. So she's remarkably survivable. Now, that being said, she didn't have a way to survive MPs. She just has sort of semi-soft survival and the defense up. But then this upgrade happened, which gave her a 1-hit 10-volt that lasts 5 turns. So that will stick almost until the cooldown comes back up. Well, theoretically it could stick until the cooldown comes back up, because the cooldown will be 5 turns as soon as they slap a law on there. And then here's a 2-turn. I think it goes up to about 40% attack, 30 or 40. It's a fairly substantial attack up for 2 turns. It'd be nice if it was 3, of course, but it's fair enough. So she's a very solid unit. She makes quite a few stars with her quick MP. She's got nice Unga Bunga Buster deck, nice classic Berserker Rush deck. She's got adorable animations. Gotta love the Tomacat. and she's a fox that thinks she's a cat but acts like a puppy dog. Figure that out.
慌てない慌てない
I'm hoping we can get Brave Chainlither to show you she uses the bloody Genki Dama. It's not to be on this wave though, unfortunately.
行きます。いいよ。やっちゃうね。慌てない慌てない。よし。よかろ。やっちゃうね。ぶっちぎる。
Oh. Huh. Okay.
めちゃくちゃ慌てない慌てない。
I forgot that that's what this free quest was. Incidentally, just look at his health there, 43k hit max. And remember that at this point in the story, we're getting trash mobs. At least the boss of the trash mobs are having even more health than he had as a servant when we fought him. Just if there's send requests, who knows if he'll actually accept or not. Well, that's fun. Let's do it 2 more times. Guess we'll go back to Australia. Just because it naturally started us over there for some reason.
武装完了。行きます。先輩。シールドエフェクト発揮します。よしよし。白は偉いね。
I'm torn.
よし。
We should get through
白は偉いね。
this before. If I use these right now, there's no bloody way
しますわよ。はい。そうしますの。
that they would come off cooldown.
こうかしら。
It's on for Zerka lots.
いいよ。了解です。やっちゃ慌てない慌てな
Well,
い。
we got 1 MP at least. Shame about Destroyer's Heart's card not being there though. Wait a minute. Did the green wyverns have more health than the red one? Bizarre.
いいよ。慌てない慌てない。
Or Australia, she just can't get any game. Good thing it's not named it.
声を聞けばよい。我が天秤に集い、きらめき。星の輝きが今ここに。ショータさん、頑張ります。
Wait, what I did that for legal ads. That's why I did that. I don't know why I even asked.
え任せなさい。ぶっ飛ばします。そうしますね。こうかしら。私の宝石。
MPs are overrated anyway.
当然の結果ですよね。
That was for Gareth, you wanker. What if he can drop monuments? Just rarely. I would doubt it. Okay, how about one more? Oh, I should probably fix my sport list now. Okay, what is... The order of my servants is so strange. It was like it was scrambled a bit. It's not something I did manually. I would have remembered that stupidity. I think it's fixed now though. Let's do this. Uriel needs some love. She is a perfectly fine servant, it's just Robin is simply better.
行くよ、シロ。シールドエフェクト発揮します。よしよし、シロは偉いね。おいで。みんなよろしくね。やっちゃうね。これはどう？
I keep forgetting Uriel got an animation update fairly recently. Global got the English version of the game got the update a lot sooner than JP did. And Steno, of course, got one as well. Yeah, sure enough. He has 800 less health than the others do. It's bizarre. He's supposed to be the strong one. I mean, if you want to give us all sorts of crits, I suppose we'll take them. So again, she can charm the enemy with her skill here. If they're males, she's got a 3-turn answer, 5-turn cooldown, so that's going to be up most of the time. It's going to be up 60% of the time if a fight drags out. Of course, her MP does bonus damage to males and has a very high chance to charm them as well, and lowers attack for any enemy it hits for 3 turns. And she can MP arts, provided she had the right hands. And she saved a great deal of people's bacon in Camelot. So yeah, she gets tremendous bonus damage against males. It's just she doesn't do much against the ladies. I think that gave us enough Saint Quartz for one summon, so we need 3 more, 3 quests, and it just so happens to be, I think that one's a higher level one, yeah, 30 as opposed to, well no, here early on this is like your best shot at farming for Yggdrasil seeds, but now there are better places available where we are in the story. But in a pinch, if you're early game, you can go there to get them. Or have a shot at getting them. The drop rate is abysmal, but theoretically, they will drop from there.
武装完了。行きます。ステータス
Because
頑張ります。
these sort of beastmen enemies are the ones that drop them. Werewolves and goblins both will. Just any type of enemy with this basic shape typically will.
了解です。
叩くわ。刃ですよ。痛いですか？ふっ。はっ。羅刹と化すわ。叩くわ。承知いたしました。 修羅になるわ。
And I'm pretty sure, I think it's a silver chest that will drop Yggdrasil seeds. So if a silver chest happens to drop, go ahead and give it a peek, see, a little look see in your menu and see if it was. The game though, it's a very low drop rate, so try not to get your hopes up too high.
手すさびのようなものですね。ごめんあらあなたの刃ですよ。来たれ我が中心我が四天王のどれかご王将来天皇大会。
戦闘終了。なんとかなりましたね。
Lancer gems. Let's see, we have Ku. Suppose an AoE Lancer would be next on the menu for leveling. Neurocaster. She's a nice AoE buster caster with a 50% battery. She's got some soft survival in the guts. She has a lovely attacker. Luckily, she's going to get a raid up again in a couple of years, and she's always on GSSRs as well. So there's a chance for her to pop up for you. She can be quite handy. She's another one of those. She's a buster servant, so her crits obviously will hit quite hard, especially since she gives herself such a large attack up. And so she's one of those AoE MP, but if she can get some crits going, she does really good single target damage as well. And those are very lovely servants to have.
楚は最悪の兆しなり、故に決して見過ごせぬ。しか
I'm not even going to bother with pressing any more buttons. This is a dead wave. Yeah, Zhongyu. Turns out he's non-limited. I could have sworn he was story locked. How did I even stumble upon seeing that he was non-limited? Oh, because I was checking it. Yes, because I was looking over next year's summon tickets. Or yeah, the 5-star ticket we're going to get. Okay, it's gold chess. My apologies. It's not the silver drops. It's the gold drops. And he's on there, which only non-limited 5 stars are able to be picked. So I was surprised to see him on there, because I could have sworn he was story lock. I feel like they should have included story lock servants. Now, limited is understandable, of course. That'd be asking a bit much. But story locked, I don't know. Let's do the salty rundown. We're almost there. Just 2 more free quests after this one.
滅ぶべくして滅ぶべし。
行くわ。
見えた。
それね。
If they had story locked, I could like grab a second copy of Cedar Knight, for example, because she's story locked. She's not limited, as it turns out.
叩くわ。
見えた。
So I'll click on you eventually. Turns out my computer monitor does not have a touch screen. Actually not too far off from getting the next 10 Saint Course reward for doing a group of 10 free quests. We'll lack 2 more after clearing this mess. It's just so convenient to go with the Berserkers here, the AoE Berserkers, just to see MP5. But they went in on the Belgiuna. Yeah, they definitely went in on the Scotty system as well, I imagine. Because they have 2K scopes. Maybe not, because the whole thing is you need an MLB K scope. Specifically, you need a Super Scope, which is an MLB K scope at level 100 for the Scotty nonsense. Although he's MP5, and I think most of the Scotty nonsense is thinking he's like MP2 or 3. I don't know. I obviously don't have Scotty, and I don't have Dantes. Although I'm hoping our roles for Starty go well in October, so then I can take a swing at Scotty on our final raid up in November. Unless they kind of muck Ian FGO over and we don't get the same banner for the download campaign that has it. That would really suck, because that's a last solo raid up. And if you checked out the stream yesterday, I went on a minor tangent about for some reason I really like Skaha. And Scotty is sort of Skaha. They're both using in their own ways. And in general, I like a lot of quick units. Like lots of arts, lots of crit, lots of quick. And she's, again, pretty much the only quick support in the entire bloody game. Worth mentioning. I really wish they would come up with another really good one that would like complement her. Sort of like Castor Artoria and Tamamo work well together. Marilyn and Castor Artoria work well together, now, even though they're cross card color supports. But if we want to stick with the same color, Marilyn and Nightingale, which was basically the premier Buster support before Marilyn came in. Marilyn and Nightingale work well together. Lots of damage and lots of survival from a lot of healing, a lot of debuff cleanse, as well as both Marilyn and Nightingale can protect the entire team from the enemy's noble phantasms. It's pretty neat. Now see, that's a lovely sunset in the fields. Out here in the fields, where we fly for our meals. Really get our back into our living. Oh nasty, is this the second time I've quoted The Who songs in these streams? Oh dear. I'm absolutely losing it. To the surprise of no one. And somebody's been eating his Wheaties. A little bit.
力を持って山を抜き気迫を持って世を追う
我が炎で溺れ死になさい。決め台詞としてはいまいちか。
There's so many good Buster starting NPCs that
視力を
you
尽
will
くして
get
くれる
one soon enough as long as you do advance. There's just so many of them, and they keep coming out with them. Ones that are full attack as well. And then Arts has a couple, or had a couple that are mixed. And then this next event finally gets one that is full attack. However, it only buffs Arts crits as opposed to Arts as a whole. But it's full attack, and it's 50% starting MP. And I think it's an MP damage up. What it? Maybe a crit damage up.
シールドエフェクト
And then
します
the big one for Quick is finally getting a full attack. Starting 50% starting MP CE for Christmas. No. If we're going to try to 3-turn this, might as well have a better shot at it
螺旋
by
で出す
actually using my skills.
はいそれねお任せよ
No use in really holding them all. There's a lovely coin flip crit. Oh, you buy. So we want Marsh to hit
了解です
the lowest health one, just to be safe. Good, good. As well as get the strongest card, so being third in line.
この道に勝利ええ叩き決着をつけましょう
And we make everything go boom.
この明かりは星の気分死を照らす命の証決着をつけるぞエクスカリバー
I'm actually
この刀に切れるものはないのよ手作りだけど
part of me is torn on whether I should go through with my current plan of ticketing more to it, or just going ahead and getting a second copy of Artoria, finally make it MP2, just because I've already went through the effort of maxing it, you know, getting it to 90 and maxing all those skills. Mordred's my favourite servant, but I do have a rider version.
始めましょうマスター この道に勝利
The practical side of me
ステータ
keeps me from being able to,
ス頑張ります
in good conscience, go completely just by how much I like a servant. I have to try to compromise between both
羅刹と化すわ
to the best of my ability. Ah,
了解です
wow. Bugging.
行くわ
いいですね
Alright, Marsh, we're counting on you. Good loss. That's closer than it should have been. Closer than I would have liked, but she did get the job done. Okay.
いいですね
それ
お任せよ くわお任せよこの赤にその気分死を減らす命の証決着をつけるぞエクスカリバー我が炎で溺れ死になさい決め台詞としてはいまいちか
Alright, hero proofs. Still need quite a few of those. What was it, 36 for Kuzka? Or was it 34? One more free quest to go. It's going to bug me now. I have to check. Was I checking? No. 36, of course. That being said, the hero proofs, honestly, the drop rate for them isn't dreadful. They're acquirable. This one though, even though it's only 2, right now, we have... They only come from minions in a very, very specific daily quest that are not even guaranteed spawns, and even when they do spawn, the drop rate is like 10%. So, bugger. Alright, we already finished that. Let's go here. Yeah. That looks like quite the adventure. Sure. Speaking of Mordred,
武装完了行きます先輩シールドエフェクト発揮します羅刹と化すわ修羅になるわ行くわ叩くわザブーンだ羅刹と化すわそれね行くぞよっしゃはっザブーンだ修羅になるわ
never get tired of watching it as beat the tire of people with a bloody surfboard and using it as a gun. It's thoroughly entertaining to me for whatever reason. Okay,
叩くわ了解です行くわ
we're doing this.
やーはっ羅刹と化すわ
Never in doubt. So next should probably be Galeas. Yeah,
ただいま整理中
remember this free quest now. What a waste. Or Mordred was wasted. Because the whole idea about it is she loops
さあよっしゃ行くぞ
really easily.
来やがったな水曜の大波行くぞ相棒見事な采配です先輩
Oh, we've almost got into Bond 6. No, Bond 7. Can't bloody count. Oh, Dragon fan. Lon Link needs a great deal of those. Hey, very, very great deal of. Martha Ruler. She's coming back as well. She gets another radar. Not this December, not this Christmas, but next. And by Christmas I mean November. I think. Because I think the 5-star raid up with is Vritra, who is a new Indian servant, who I actually quite like. She's a dragon girl. I really like dragons. Shocking, I know. She's an AoE arts monster. 5-star. She's non-limited as well, so she becomes spooky. She can pop up at any time, any banner. So yeah, you do. And in fact, I like her so much, and because I adore Martha, that is definitely a banner I am thinking about saving up for on this account. But again, that's the end of next year, so I need to pick a more earlier mid banner to take a crack at as well, because we can't just not go for anything before then. Deciding what that'll be though is quite difficult. I'll have to look over and see what we need, honestly. It would be nice if we could somehow get far enough in the story to acquire caster shooting welfare, but it's highly unlikely because we only have like a couple months. We can get far enough to complete Lost Belt 2. I could do what I did on my main and just blitz through with a maid's Heracles, but that'd be no fun, and that wouldn't be a very entertaining stream either. But hopefully we can blitz on through. If you're in the situation where you haven't completed Lost Belt 2 though, do know, let's say you've completed Arc 1, so you've beaten spoiler, do be aware that you don't have to complete Embodiment of Remnant, which is 1.5 technically. That is side stuff, or it's a bridgey thing. It's almost like filler. It's to take up space to give you something to do while they were working on the actual part 2 of the story. Calling it filler is a bit inaccurate, as some of the stuff that happens in it is referenced in Lost Belt, such as some of the characters that are introduced in it continue along. But it is not required to have completed any of Embodiment of Remnant to get started on the Lost Belts. So you don't have to worry about that. And in fact, most seem to agree, for the most part, that the Embodiment of Remnants are actually more difficult than the bloody Lost Belts are. So that's fine. Which makes it quite unfortunate in that so many of the better material drop spots, such as the Phoenix Plume, are in an Embodiment of Remnant. That is certainly a year by. So that gens so many crit stars just because of the quick crit there. But generally, it seems to be pretty well agreed that when it comes to card bonuses, Arts really buffs up your NP game, Buster really pumps up your damage, but Quick doesn't really seem to add that much to your star gen, unfortunately. So it's generally better to just do the other two, and then use the Quicks as backup if at all. However, again, that's just sort of circumstantial stuff others have said. I don't know if anyone's actually taken a deep dive into the numbers or the mechanics to really come up with anything objective in that regard.
修羅になるわ。刻
では
むわ。それね。
決着としよう。
うわー。手触りよ。音がしね。
ここで果てるが天命と知れ。
And I do believe we're on our last run. Let's go double jolt for kicks and giggles. Sort of apropos, honestly. As Galea's twisted desires that gave rise to this version of Jean. So it's only right she puts him down. At least the shadow form of him, since we've already passed actual him. What do I want to do? Doesn't particularly matter, I suppose.
それだくわ。はっ。
Okay, okay. I was becoming concerned on whether that Buster would finish or not, or would one shot. For whatever reason, felt like she had failed to do so before.
覚悟はいい？それね、叩くわ。三つ首の黒竜よ、世界を食らい尽くせ。守りのポイエトラヘ。我が炎で溺れ死になさい。
That should have been some void dance. Ah, beautiful. Keep that coming. And now, we do our roll and then bonus roll, and I think that'll do it. So I want to do stories. Okay. Artisans, bronze link manipulator. Here we go. This if goes to plan is I lost summon till Seedonai Ibaraki Dorji Banner. Ah, unlucky. You sure do get a lot of Visibron.
いらっしゃい
What MP is he at now? 4? Okay, 3. I'm pretty sure that's the 4th one we've got, so I must have accidentally burned a copy of it, or used him as EXP, which definitely sounds like something I would do. Shame we're not getting more Ushis, and another Robin. Oh bloody Asako. Just a second coup would be very lovely, honestly.
そろそろクエストに戻る
Let's
よろしい
see once again how far we... Oh, Robin can... Ah, right. It's 3 of each. Luckily, the next event has monuments and pieces in the shop. I think for all 7 classes. I think so. I know that they definitely had rider ones, so that's good. Speaking of, okay. Let's go ahead and do this. While we're here. Find Ascension Robin, and we can get his 3rd skill. As soon as we have some free time, when the event's not coming on and needing all that AP. Just like Ushi, his 3rd skill is an evade that gives a bonus effect that I think lasts 3 turns. We don't really have... Oh, I need to be using these. Give him all the archer mess. Didn't amount to much, but just stuns. Yeah, let's just go ahead and clear this mess out. Oh, of course. Of bloody course. We get the crit when we didn't feed him very much. That's depressing. He's got a little bit of bonus attack, at least. Bugger. Alright. Also, when it comes to skills, need homunculi babies. Need more of these buggers. All of these. Oh, jeez. Again, a lot of this will be helped greatly by the lottery event. Robin's strengthening. Yeah, it's one of the old ones where it's 20 AP per node per tick, and it's just 5 ticks of kind of boring, samey fights. Luckily, you get 2 Saint Courts for doing it, which is lovely. But then see, like Tarmacats, for example, which is a newer one, is a bit different. It's like, oh, it's three nodes, but the fights will be a bit spicier, because often these are sort of similar to the unlocking these, where each fight is not all that different from each other. Sort of boring fights against trash mobs. I'll probably, I suppose we can do the, what's the level of this? 70? Seems bad, right? In that case. So yeah, perfect example. This is Robin's strengthening, right? Why would you use him against Lancers? Lancers are going to eat his lunch. Why not make it? Why not structure it to where, oh, you can actually use him in his own strengthening, which makes sense, you know, thematically, gameplay wise, and just, you know, story wise. So yeah, I'll do the rest of these little nodes off screen before maintenance, I suppose. I actually think his evade, Robin's evade, is the exact same as Ushi's. Let me check. Let's see, Robin's evade. Okay, it's sure hits. It's 110 of sure hits, and it gives him, at rank 10, it gives him 20 crit stars for the turn. So it's not the same. The sure hit's nice. Of course, as honestly, stars are always lovely. You always take crits. And Ushi's is, yeah, it just doubles a star gen crit rate for a turn, 100% gen up. So both of them are really nice skills. Nice turn of hard survival. If you'll recall, even in Archer favored nodes against Sabers, Robin was still, even my level 70 Robin from my main, who's properly forward, was having a bit of a time surviving against all those hits. It just kept coming. How about those crits? Should have reversed that order. Put Marsh's Buster first and Ku's. Either way it wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't have mattered. Oh, they actually finally chipped through protection from arrows. Fat lot of good it did them. It would already be up. If I was able to get into rank 10, it would already be up. Just imagine if they weren't AI, and this was like some bloke's team, and they were trying to get down Ku, and then it's like, oh, you finally got through all my evasions. Click. Now do it again. And then they, oh, I got through it a turn quicker. Okay, catch, or just tank and then heal, and then do it again. Seem to be having a difficult time there, mate. It's almost like Ku's pretty good or something. Or actually getting a little bit of help. Be nice to get 3 more rare prisms as soon as we can, so we can get anniversary bombs. Nice Buster Mystic card. I say Buster, but honestly it can work with even non-Buster units, just units that really like to crit, because one of its 3 abilities generates a great deal of crit stars for attack. Ah, that's beautiful. That's one handy thing about these, is typically they have decent drop rates. Sometimes. But alright, I think we've squeezed enough blood out of this stone today. We're fresh out of AP. Robin will have his little evade the next time you see me play on this account. Hopefully. And then we just need to do the same for Oyushi when we can finally start ascending and leveling her properly. So I think we've realised there's definitely a lack of rider monuments and pieces available in the first 5 plus tutorial, so 6 singularities. Well, hold on. Here. Of the story. But really glad we got a second copy of Asash Sanushi. That was definitely like that. The thing about it is, that's a split raid up too, so odds were really not in my favour of getting it. The interesting thing about split raid ups is it increases your chance of getting one of the rated ups, because the 4-star raid up is actually not particularly good overall. Like it's a bit better than a coin flip of, oh, I got a 4-star, but is it going to be a raid up one? I think it's about 60%, somewhere around there. Whereas the raid up for 5 stars was 70%, but now they increased it to 80% this latest anniversary for global. Japan has obviously had that for 2 years now, as well as the 11 summons per 10 summons, as opposed to not, which just further increases your odds of getting something nice with the same amount of Saint Quartz or tickets. It's definitely better than day one. So, you know how a summon is 3 Saint Quartz? Well, in day one, it was 4 Saint Quartz. So it took 40 instead of 30 for a 10 roll. Good times. You also didn't have the daily free 10 roll for friend points either. And there weren't daily quests, so you couldn't even really level or skill up your servants. You just had to pray you got drops from story or events. And events were, oh dear, events were rough early on. Events have improved a lot. For sure, since day one, or since the early events. And there are just more quality of life updates on the way. Not necessarily the ones most wanted yet. We still have to wait and see what JP's getting for this anniversary. But I think that'll do it for this stream, so hope you enjoyed. Next time we will see if we can't lose our soul gambling. So until then, take care and see you next time.